We're going. We're continuing. I'm just gonna forget about these trains. Like, who cares? I'll come back and get them later. And I will drive my car, much like the Beatles song. There we go. I don't expect to need ammo. So my first one should actually be down here somewhere. You know. Maybe I should just do that. I'm not sure how carefully I laid out these other ones. So, yeah, I'll go do that. Just so I can avoid, an unaesthetic sort of overlap. Do I have everything I need? No, I need my solar panels. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. How you doing?
I'm doing alright.
Good.
Just got back from hanging out with some fellow ortho bros.
Ah, I see. Sounds fun.
Yeah, it was nice. And now I'm like, I should go to bed because I have to wake up in about 5 hours.
Wow. You should go to bed then.
But on the other hand, it's like, I don't really feel like going to bed.
Ah, I see. Yeah, classic
want to.
problem. Classic problem. I've been having a situation lately where, because my sleep schedule has gotten so weird, I'm actually experiencing, like, other people seem to have. I have sleep problems and they tried giving me, like, a sleep drug, but whenever I take those, I'm like, yeah, this is definitely clamping down on, like, half of my brain circadian regulator, but the other half is wide awake, and so I'm just like, I'm just too tired to move, but I'm definitely still awake, and it's really inconvenient.
That sounds bad.
Yeah, it's not great. I mean, it's fine. But it doesn't help really. But recently, I've been like, there are times when I'm like, well, it's midnight, and I'm like too tired to do anything, but the other half of my brain is still too awake to go to sleep. So if only I had those sleep aids now, they would really pop off. I've just been drinking though. That was my solution. I'm a little bit of a genius.
Does that work?
Yeah, I mean, supposedly it reduces your sleep quality, so that's a different problem, but it does, does make me feel like going to sleep.
Good.
Most of the time.
I'm actually tired enough to go to sleep.
Nice.
I just, for perverse reasons, don't want to.
Wow. You're suffering from
which is dumb.
Egregious strength of the will. Your will is too strong.
I don't know if I'd put it that way.
I would.
Well, clearly.
Yeah.
Is it? Well, I guess in a way you're right. But in another way, it's like extreme weakness of will.
Mm. You know, it was.
Because if I was strong-willed, I'd be like, I will just go to sleep because that's what I should do.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I'm broadening my horizons here. And going to put, now that I've bested the concept of an electrical grid and I don't need it anymore, going to put radar bits where I wasn't even thinking I would cover previously.
The grid has been debunked.
Nice. Hmm. You know, when I'm driving in real life, I don't have this problem of being too far away from my car that I can't tell that I'm crashing into something.
Yeah. When you get into the car, it should put you in like a Doom-like first-person view.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm still gonna look at the mini map instead anyway, so.
What if you're just locked into the first-person view while you're driving?
True. Every time you check your mini map, it just gives you a message about, like, you shouldn't text and drive. And you're like, jeez.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me of a, a meme I was maybe gonna make, which
Yeah.
wasn't gonna be that good, but I thought that would be kind of amusing. Be like the
That's
driving.
peak
I
for
mean, that's what
memes.
memes are.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be the driving trilemma. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you have to choose only two.
Mm-hmm.
One is driving 15 miles per hour over the speed limit. Two is reading a book. Three is eating spaghetti.
uh, that is funny. I don't know why I find it funny, but it is funny. I
It's because
guess.
any one of those could be considered dangerous,
Yeah.
and two would be quite difficult.
I would also find it difficult to do all of those things at once. Hmm.
But I think that what's funny to me about it, or one of the things that's funny to me about it, is it's a rejection of the idea that a trilemma is supposed to be like some like philosophical truth about the nature of a thing, and it's just like here are many things that are difficult to do at the same time.
Hmm. Weird that this thing like decided to be on for just a second and now has gone away.
It's aliens.
Curious.
It's aliens from outer space, not aliens from this planet.
Oh, I see. I understand now. I understand perfectly. I don't know if I want to. Like, I could put a radar here. But if. And I guess that's the reasonable thing to do. But part of me thinks, like, well, I don't want to leave a radar here if it's going to overlap with this thing a little bit. Like, at the very least, I'd rather make some landfill about it, but I don't think I will. So, guess I'll just do this.
Wait, what was that second thing or the third thing you put down in between the
Oh,
solar panel and the radar?
yeah. The funny thing is, you need to put a power line in there. Like, even though these are two electrical components and they can magically talk to the power line without connections, they cannot magically talk to each other.
Oh, I see.
So, between, or in the same place as the electricity producer and consumer, you need to put a power line. Which, I suppose
Understandable.
you can understand it as like the power line has some sort of non-depicted littler lines connecting everything,
Yeah.
if you want to think about it that way.
And to just connect the two things with a small line just between them would be irresponsible because it.
uh, uh, well, you just
Start sweating nervously.
it's impossible. um
It couldn't be done.
yeah, in my mind I think like, well, you just don't have one, right?
No
the
extension cords in the universe.
Yeah, the only way you can get one is by putting up a power pole, because those have them built in or something, you know.
Yeah.
So the convenience of the solution, but at what cost? Not convenient the rest of the time is the cost.
Wait, what's not convenient the rest of the time?
Well, you can't use any small cords the rest of the time because you aren't like crafting small cords or anything. Yeah, you can see
Oh,
here
I see.
in the stream that they're both like, I'm not connected to the electric network. I'm not connected to the electric network. No power.
Look at
So,
us, just a couple of schmucks. A couple of schmucks not connected to the
yeah.
practical network.
They're like, oh god, if only there was something we could do about the situation. Oh well.
Yeah, it's like the guy who's standing in the street and he's like, man, I've got all these pineapples, but I really just want money instead. And another guy is like, man, I got all this money, but I'd really rather have pineapples. And they're like,
Mm,
gosh, I wish there was someone here who could exchange these goods and money for us so that we could do
yeah.
capitalism.
Yeah.
And then finally, thankfully, some guy rolls up who's like, I can help with this.
Wow.
And then he just takes the pineapples and the money and gives them to the other guys and takes a
Nice.
thief.
And that man was a development economist.
And that man is Albert Einstein.
Wow. Hmm.
And that man's name was Robert Visa.
Wow. You really do be like that, Mr. Visa.
Alfred MasterCard. Amerigo American Express.
That's good. That's good. I was still thinking about how to get from like Alfred MasterCard to like Alfred the Butler saying Master Bruce.
Mm.
You know? That's where my mind was. And like slowly driving through the world at breakneck. Ah! Ah!
Oh, see, you started screaming, and I was like, what's going on? It looks like he's just driving through normal terrain, and then it caught up to the time that you were at, and I was like, oh, that's a lot of bugs.
Mm-hmm.
Several bugs.
True. It's, this is why we're making the radar project. Except I already might have known those guys were there, and I chose not to do anything about it until now.
Well,
Okay,
it's
so
the spirit
one,
of the thing.
2, 3, right? 1, 2, 3. So the place I want to put this is right there, which means maybe I go to war with these guys, even though I'm completely unprepared.
At 93 rounds, that's not completely unprepared.
That's true. That is true. But it won't be enough to, like, actually do anything to their base, you know? I need more uh, covering fire. I would need to be able to repair my car. And I left all my repair kits at the base. So,
Wait, why can't you just run over the bugs?
you can. It also damages your car. I think. I've
Oh,
never tried it. Maybe it just stops you.
you should build one of those Mad Max vehicles that's like
Yeah.
a war horse sort of thing. It's got
Whoa.
spikes and whatnot.
I mean, a train works pretty well for that.
Just send a train straight to their camp.
I did not expect how annoying it would be for, like, dawn to come and things to flash on and off for a bit. Curious. Maybe.
Almost like
What?
almost like having an electrical grid would be cool and
Yeah.
good and worthwhile.
Yeah. But here's my other thought. I will just add more solar panels. Boom.
I was thinking about that, but I didn't want a backseat game. I figured you had your reasons.
Yeah. Well, my reason is solar panels are not free,
Yeah.
but they're basically free, right? You know. They're free enough that I can add more now that I realize one is kind of annoying. Slightly. Especially since I'm going back this way anyway.
It's several solar panels. Flashy. How much could it cost? $20.
It's a good question. A question that man has pondered since time immemorial. How much could a solar panel cost? I think I could also like do this, and the radar isn't. Ooh, no, it's just slightly too far away if I want to do that. So, I guess I'll put that
I
back.
understand how you make these decisions.
Nice. And that
Like,
is no longer no pattern or low power during the day. So that's something. Anyway, you were saying?
oh, I think I understand.
Hmm.
I was assuming if you lined up solar panels next to other solar panels, only one of them would need to be connected to the grid.
Uh,
But now I'm thinking, based on your placement, that they all have to be connected to the grid independently.
yeah, that's certainly my impression.
Sad.
They all need to. You can't just have a device share power with another device. Only like a water boiler can do that for
Or like
water.
any solar panel system ever.
Yeah,
Or modern ones, I don't know.
I guess we could always try it. Nope, doesn't work.
Oh, oh, is it a range of 2 squares away from the hole?
Yeah. Hmm.
Good old non-Pythagorean distances.
True. True. Yeah. Well, that raises the question. I mean, do I want to get into a big conflict over there just so I can make this corner perfect? That would be pretty based. Look, a random square. Oh, well.
A victory for Western civilization.
Mm, nice. I guess I could do the top part first. Now, on the other hand, the square would be prettier. So I've talked myself into it. Also, it's not a square. It's just a convex corner instead of a concave corner.
Also, it looked like the gap was more of a rectangle than a square anyhow.
Yeah, I don't really understand that because like it has to be square. These form a square.
Something got
Is it
misaligned
gonna...
somewhere.
Yeah, maybe this one is like actually spaced well, and then this one is like too close to the previous one. Maybe something like that happened. If so, I mean, I can just go adjust this one out, and it'll be fine. I can just move it one over.
Yeah,
Something like
it's
that.
literally one square over.
Yeah. But that will also make it be out of the range of the thing, so I'll have to shuffle a couple of things around, but that's fine. Okay. So, I'm gonna get my war loadout on. I'm gonna do it how I always do it, by randomly looking through these things and going,
Show me your war face.
brah.
I don't remember what he says after that.
I think he's like louder or something. I don't know. Maybe he's like, oh, that was great, thanks. Good war
Like,
face.
you know, already got a war face from Private Jeffers. Next step, show me your war face. I don't think he does that. I've never seen the movie.
I have seen the movie, but that part didn't stand out to me at all until somebody later made a meme where I guess it's like a little kitty cat going like meow or something. Okay, time to deal with these trains by hitting the O button. O for trains. Huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
The O stands for the oo in choo choo.
Good. That makes a lot of sense.
Or it stands for the circular cloud of smoke that rises, or steam, actually, well, possibly both, that rises from the chimney of the train as it chugs along.
A
The O
curious
stands for
theory.
a circular train wheel. Sorry.
Yes. Okay, I think I send this guy to Big Base South. And then eventually I'll get on him. And then, like, this guy will be sent somewhere else. I was playing around with these signals. And I have sort of figured out how they work. And the way that they work is not, like, my favorite way anything has ever worked. But it's okay, I guess. Oh, what if I think I can't do this, actually.
Yeah, how do the gates and the walls work with trains?
Oh, the gates and the walls are easy. First of all, trains can't go through walls. Second of all, gates automatically open for you and also your trains. That's just a feature of them.
Oh, nice. It's a good feature.
Yeah.
What are you?
There we go.
What's that little thing you're moving around that has something to do with trains?
So this is a rail signal. So it's like its intended use is that like this train stops at this rail signal. And then if these tracks are clear, it can go through. It isn't going through right now because nobody's in it, which is a different condition I added. But then once it moves in here, the other train can go because it detects that block of tracks is clear. And then I'm explaining this very poorly because I was surprised by my own signal layout, because one is hidden sort of behind this train station. But the point is that, like, the signal stops the train so it doesn't run into the train on the track in front of it.
Sounds like a good thing to avoid.
Yeah. Which, I made 2 trains. Like the wrapper, 2 trains.
Is that a wrapper?
Well, there's 2 chains.
Oh.
I'll repair this
I've
train
probably
while
heard
I'm
of
on it.
It's pretty sick.
I don't think it's doing anything. So I
Reminds me
made...
of Comet
Mm.
laying down track for the train as he goes.
Yeah, you can
Sorry.
do that in this game. It's a lot less efficient than you might imagine, but you can do it. Which is funny.
You were saying something before I so rudely interrupted.
Nice. Yeah, I made a second train because I thought what I'll do is I'll carry this train in my pocket, and then when I want to return from the war zone, I will simply place the train onto the tracks and then hop in the train and then get it to drive home. But then I thought, oh no, my trains are going to crash into each other. I'll make signals, and then I played around with signals, and it's all right, you know.
Sounds like signals did not meet all your expectations.
It could have been better, I suppose. You know?
That's cool that you can carry a train in your pocket, though.
Yeah. I think they represent how the train is bigger because it has a stack size of 5, unlike coal, which you can only have 50 of. So 5 trains is as big as 50 coal. However, when you build a cargo wagon, it can fit like 40 stacks of 50 coal in there, even though it's only as big as 50 coals. So, you know, something doesn't add up. Something is
Yeah.
amiss with the realism, the verisimilitude, if you will, of Factorio. I didn't want to say anything because I thought it would be a devastating critique that the devs would never recover from, even though they seem like nice people. This is weird how these guys are so close. Like, are they encircling me?
And what is that thing that looks like a road? Or wall?
Oh, these are cliffs.
It almost looks like a man-made object.
Yeah. Towering overall?
Yeah.
It does. It does. You can only tell it isn't by the fact that it's completely useless. In fact, I recently unlocked an item in the game you can use to destroy cliffs. It's cliff explosives. It's made of a ton of explosives, and then it destroys those, so you don't have to worry about them anymore.
Well, it's specifically for cliffs. That's cool.
Yeah. Well, they're a real, you know, barrier in the game. The only barrier I was not yet able to destroy.
It just seems like you could have used regular explosives rather than needing cliff explosives.
Nah, regular explosives can only explode things like trees. They're just not powerful enough for a cliff.
I guess that makes sense. Oh, there's the enemy. Is there a particular advantage to putting the turrets in line with each other?
Well, I start back here because I think they won't attack me. And then I place one. I basically just place them within the range of each other until I do get attacked. So, like, I start out here, and then I place one here so that if I get attacked during, this can defend it, and it won't, like, instantly be destroyed. Right? And then I place one here. Those big guys are getting too powerful. They're actually damaging my guy. Then I place one here, and then they do start attacking it, and then I place one to the side so that they have enough support to actually take things out before the things get close to them. And then, yeah, then there's really no point in having the further back one, except perhaps if these ones fail and you're standing out here, then you might want to retreat. Ooh, a second front has opened up in the battle. I was hoping that wouldn't happen, honestly. But I do wonder.
Oh, the lower thing.
Yeah, I do
We should have
wonder.
attacked from the cliffs.
Yeah, I think I
Oh,
should
never mind. That would have been dangerous also.
go up to the cliffside. I just experimented by running up there, and I don't think the cliff ones will, like, notice me as hard as the ones that are just down there. You know? Like, they're not really noticing me right now.
Yeah, there's like a gorge in between.
Yeah.
So if you destroy the cliff, does that turn into a gradual slope that you can climb?
I think it's just gonna turn into ground, right? It's just gonna completely just remove the cliff. And it'll just be like ground, ground, also ground. You know?
Any notion of like altitude is
Yeah.
just fake.
Yeah, that's my theory about how it probably works.
Sounds like you haven't tried it yet.
That is correct. First of all, I can't actually make the explosives. And second of all, I probably wouldn't have bothered, even if I could. Because I just have not had any great need to level any cliffs so far.
Until now.
Did those guys come up from the south? They are doing that. So maybe I change my strategy to be more completely from the north.
Only when you zoom out and look at them. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, nice.
Imagine my surprise when in Minecraft, if you look at an Enderman, he comes and kills you.
Whoa. Video games have gone too far.
It's like, I can't even look. Come on, bro. Yeah, because you see something moving, and it's like tall and weird looking, and you're like, whoa, what is that? And it's like, nope, don't look at that.
Don't look at that. You made
You
made the mistake. Alright, I'm gonna see if I can. Nope. Okay. Gonna see if I can draw the initial wave here so that it's not nearly as dangerous. I'm gonna need to build a rocket launcher, which requires building explosives. Not cliff explosives, though, just regular explosives. Maybe I can use some fire there. Make that not so much of a big deal.
Seems like you should be able to just run in there and set the things on fire and then run away.
Hmm.
But I guess it's too dangerous.
Yeah, there is a shield pack you can put in your thing, but it requires more things I haven't gotten to yet. You can put in your armor. This energy shield. Wow. Whoa. Incredible. To put in the energy shield. Oh, I can make these guys. Okay. That's a good move. That's a much better move. To make plastic, you need petroleum gas. To make petroleum gas... I'm not even really sure how you get petroleum gas, honestly.
I bet it requires oil.
Hmm?
I bet it requires oil.
Yeah, but like, then you probably put it in a chemical plant, and then you can never actually get petroleum gas as like an inventory item, which is why I'm not seeing it. It probably only exists in pipes. That would be my guess.
You can carry a train, you can carry 50 coal, but you can't carry a gas.
He's so right. It's so true. He's so wise.
There are rules to this stuff.
There's just, you know, hill full, hole full, you cannot catch a bowl full, right? You know what I'm talking about.
I don't know that I do.
Oh. Well, that's a classic old riddle. I think it's even in Lord of the Rings, or The Hobbit, when he and Gollum have a riddle contest. And it's like, the answer is like smoke. I don't know though, because like you can have a bowl full of smoke, so that never really made sense to me.
You can smoke a bowl full of tobacco.
You can definitely do that. That's one of the top ways of getting a bowl full of smoke. I guess they're really counting on like, but you can't catch a bowl of smoke. That would just be weird.
Oh, the riddle is saying you can't. Okay. Well, I mean, what about in a fancy restaurant when they do that thing where they lift up the covering of the plate and there's a bunch of smoke in there and they like swirl it around?
How'd they get that, huh?
They must have caught it at some point, right?
Wouldn't Tolkien like to know? Oh god.
Look at that riddle.
It would be funny if you like found a Wikipedia page on that riddle and then they're like, criticisms. People have said this riddle doesn't make any sense. Of course you can have a bowl full of smoke. What the hell are you talking about?
Songs with Simon. This song, I found a PDF that's called Songs with Simon, and it says, a house full, a hole full, and you cannot gather a bowl full. And it says in parentheses, answer over the page.
What is it?
The next page says,
yeah,
answer, smoke.
Wow. I mean, you can definitely like gather a bowl full of smoke. That's how they do it in the fancy restaurant. They've gathered the smoke from non-smoke material, obviously, but it's been gathered somehow.
What really gets me is this is not a song. It just says Songs with Simon, and it has a picture of a guy popping out of the page with 2 thumbs up, and there are notes about, and then it has a riddle with an answer.
Wow. Yeah. People have not been holding Simon to account for the fact that he has non-songs on his website as well. And that's just not okay.
I mean, I guess you could sing it, and I can't prove that Simon doesn't have a tune for it, but he didn't give us the tune,
I feel like if you
and it
want
wasn't
to
really presented song-like.
say something is a song, you have to give a tune for it. And I'm including in books where they say, like, and then he sang a song. And then they're just like, yeah, here's like a poem I wrote, but it's like even worse than a usual poem. You know?
There were a lot of songs in Lord of the Rings.
Yes. Are any of them. Do you know the tunes to any of them?
No,
Mm.
I don't
Well,
know if they have tunes, official tunes.
hmm.
Okay, I found on brainzilla.com a hill full, a hole full, yet you cannot catch a bowl full. What is it?
Oh, smoke.
Can you guess the answer? Answer, mist.
Whoa! Well, that's even worse, right? Because you can definitely catch a bowl full of mist.
Yeah. And also, what does a hill full of mist mean?
Yeah, that one's tough. I'm not even sure what a hill full of smoke means, to be honest. But I can
Yeah.
imagine some things it could mean.
Like, I guess you could fill a hole in a hill with smoke to get the fox out, or the
Yeah,
gophers, or something like that.
yeah. It could also just
Smoke
be
them
a
out.
weird way to talk about a volcano. Certainly,
Hmm.
I think. Okay, so my idea right now is that my weapons are just not good enough to deal with those guys, at least at my current skill level. Although I didn't try making a billion defender capsules and then running at them with all 20 defender capsules out at once, which could be pretty cool. But I'm thinking I need to
Wait,
make more
how did we get
effective
from a billion
weapons.
to 20?
Oh, you can only throw 20 out at a time.
Oh, but you keep replenishing them as they die with the billion that you have.
Yeah. What is
Okay, I see.
you can't shotgun shells have a projectile range listed on them as 15. Normal bullets don't. Maybe the gun does? Yeah, so that's 18. So shotgun shells are worse, which closes off a different avenue I thought about using. But I could use a rocket launcher, right?
Rocket launcher.
I would just need explosives.
I hardly know her.
Nice. Explosives need sulfur. I'm still not sure how you get sulfur. Um,
Uh, Try decomposing sulfuric acid.
yeah, maybe. It's made in a chemical plant. Okay,
Oh,
out of petroleum gas. What's petroleum gas made out of? Why doesn't it have... I guess it's made in a chemical plant, solid fuel from petroleum gas, which requires petroleum gas. Basic oil processing.
I
Okay.
mean, do you have
No,
a chemical plant?
I've understood it.
Oh,
Basic oil processing is made in an oil refinery. And instead of just being called petroleum gas, it's called basic oil processing. But it makes
huh,
petroleum gas, which
huh.
also I assume is petrol, also known as gasoline, and they've just picked the most confusing possible option to call it.
Oh wait, so it's not actually a
It's
gas.
not a
It's just
gas. I mean, it's weird that
gas.
gasoline is called gas, but it's even weirder when you say petroleum gas.
Come to think of it, why would petroleum gas be a gas?
It could be, there's petroleum jelly. It's a well, it's not quite a jelly. Sort of depends on what you mean by jelly, I guess. Okay, so I need to make a basic oil refinery. That's my mission now.
Didn't you find oil several days ago?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have the
You still
oil.
haven't refined it?
Just haven't refined it. I was too busy waging wars and stuff. But now the war machine demands oil.
Ain't it always the way?
Ain't that the way? These guys are still just chilling over there. So that's interesting. They've never tried to... People allege to me that apparently these guys try to send out scouts and stuff. I've never seen it.
But you just passed right by a huge bunch of enemies. Are you concerned about them?
Did I? Or are you thinking about this?
On the train? As you're on the train, the train went past a big bunch of red dots,
These guys?
red squares. No, it was on a vertical track on the right.
Yeah, those are the ones I'm currently fighting.
But they
I
were
think.
on the left of your track.
Yeah.
And the ones you're fighting are on the right, I thought.
I think my fast camera work may have confused you. Trains are not real.
But I saw the train moving and red dots next to it.
It was a hallucination.
No, don't gaslight me. You don't even have petroleum gas yet.
That's true. I do have lights, though. They're electric lights. So, we've really,
Don't electric light me.
We've really...
I would say I know what I saw, but I'm pretty sleepy, so...
Tech tree. Stone brick.
I know how to make stone brick in Minecraft.
Ah, it's a very similar process here. Except it's actually, like, useful for something.
Cool. Stone brick is useful for if you want to, wait, no, never mind. It's not useful. That's right, I know.
F.
Indeed. I was thinking back to when I was mining, and I was like, oh, I got all this stone, all this cobblestone. I should turn this into brick, like stone brick. But then that didn't actually reduce the number of things in my inventory, so it was still full.
Ah. Wow.
So, yeah.
Oh, I see.
And I turned them into stairs, which did reduce and made room in my inventory.
So, if you hold F, you can pick things up off the ground, which I'm using to pick up these things. But I think if you hit E... Okay, never mind. I was thinking, like, how did that one get by me? Maybe hitting E canceled it. But I think it's fine.
I woke up by you. Were you trying to pick up stuff off the conveyor belt?
Yeah. Yeah. And I saw one stone brick get by me.
Right, so where do they go if you don't pick them up?
Well, they go into this thing that makes walls.
Oh, I see. you could just turn off the thing that makes walls and let the bricks pile up.
That's true. But I mean, I'll use those walls someday, and I'll use these bricks at some other point. And I only need a couple of bricks now.
This
Why?
game is full of many mysteries.
Why don't you think you can go there, my train? Something wrong? Oh, the signal! The signal! Right.
What's wrong, train?
So I
You've
need
hardly
this.
touched your tracks.
True. I need that guy to go to Big Base South so that this train won't think there's anything on the tracks. What if I... Right, that guy's turned off. So that guy has a red because I guess it's like, oh, in between... This guy has a green because there's nothing in this place. But then this guy has a red because, like, everything else is full up. So I wonder if I delete that, will it work like I expect it to? No, it works like I figured it out it does, so even though it's weird, I think what I need to do is place a rail signal here. Then there are purple lines, which doesn't make sense to me. And then... Okay, I was hoping that would work. But it didn't. Maybe I need to place another one here. Okay, yeah. So the purple lines are like, oh, this block is full. If you look. Because it's like this signal to this signal. These are closed. Blue is, I guess, free? Yellow is... Oh, blue is maybe... like waiting on some guy? Don't know. Yellow is probably free, though.
It's funny because I see like red lines and green lines.
Why?
Because my blue light is being filtered out of my screen.
Whoa!
Although I should still be able to see yellow. So I don't know why I didn't. Oh no, I see the yellow. If your trains crash into each other, will they actually crash and do damage, or will it sort of bump?
I haven't seen them do it, but they will bump and do damage. I'm pretty sure. Oh. Great. I guess he's not going to path around that. He's just going to get here and then wait. Which, you know, makes sense. But anyway. Luckily, this train will go. That train will stop. The train system is perfect. Perfect!
It's brilliant, brilliant, brilliant.
Yes.
Yes, I say.
Again, there's not quite of convenient of a way for me to just like hop on a train and say like, okay, train, go to Big Base South as a one-off. In my opinion.
Because the other thing's already there.
No, just like in terms of the interface, there isn't enough.
Oh.
of flexibility. Like, you just have to add it to the train route and then remove it from the train route. It's a very automation themed system, which is good, of course, but I'm not really at that part of the game yet. So really what I want to do is hop on a train to go to some bespoke location. Maybe I should study what this does.
So
Crafting.
is the idea that your trains will just run at a regular route at regular times and
Uh,
carry things on their.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the central usage of trains in Factorio, I think, based on the kind of game it is. I'm just
Yeah.
intuiting. That's how everyone would do it.
Is that the refinery?
Yes, the oil refinery. No recipe. Well, I think I'll make basic oil processing, aka petroleum gas. That's what I think I'll make. Low power. Low power? Oh. See, I built this whole system, and then I was like, oh, I don't have any coal. I know, I'll just get some power solar panels. Put them down here. Anyway. So during the night, it isn't as powered.
How is it powered at all during the night?
Oh, it isn't. But in, like, the twilight, it's also not powered. Okay, so this does make petroleum gas, and then I can't pick it up. I guess. Because of the ancient riddle we discussed previously. It's going out here. Right. And then we'll build some pipe. And then we will... What did we want to do with this? Like, chemical plant?
Yeah, pipe it into that chemical plant.
Yeah. What do we want to build ultimately? We could just build a lot of... I don't know what that is. Like, plastic? Yeah.
Plastic explosives.
Yeah. Certainly going to be some of that.
You need coal, so if it's going to be running on its own, you gotta get coal over there.
Okay, so I could make all sorts of things here. And I'm probably going to have to make both. But I guess I'll have it make... Oh. There we go. So now it just needs some coal. So I'll cannibalize my power plant to take the coal. Look, the output is full. It's fine. He'll be fine. Alright. So now we're getting some plastic bar. Finally. Finally. But what do I actually want to make? I could make a rocket launcher. I mean, I can make a rocket launcher right now. And then... make, like, what? Explosives in a chemical plant? I'm making the wrong thing to make explosives. But that's fine.
I still need that sulfur.
Yeah. So I think what I do
Wait, what did
is...
you need?
Well, sulfur mostly. And I think what I do is, ooh, in order to make sulfur, I'm going to need water, which means I'm going to have to pipe it in from the shore. But I don't know. What else can we make with just plastic, huh? We could make some advanced circuits, which means we could make some modules.
Why do you need plastic for circuits?
Because they're advanced. Obviously.
Oh, good
Any
point.
any other questions?
um,
Hmm. If I make modular armor, it's just better in general. And then I could also equip the energy shield.
maybe the plastic is for the keyboard caps of the engineers who are making the advanced circuits.
Now you're talking. Now you're talking. So I think I will go with that, which means I would like more plastic, which means I would like more coal, which means I have to go back home to get that.
Just an endless series of needs and actions to fulfill those needs.
Well, it's not endless.
So, yeah, I guess at some point you have all you could ever want of everything.
True.
And you can just automate total destruction of the enemy.
Nice. As they say, based.
I assume you can build robots that go out and kill aliens on their
Hmm.
own.
And why shouldn't you be able to, eh? But I've never done that. So it's purely theoretical for me.
I mean, for me also, because I don't know anything about this game really.
Nice.
I'm just saying things that seem like they could exist.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But to be honest, I would be kind of surprised if they had robots that had that level of autonomy,
Mm-hmm.
where they go out and look for enemies.
Well, I have defender robots.
Yeah, but that's a much simpler job.
Yeah, if you say so.
A robot I'm envisioning would have to, pick a direction, look around for some enemies. If it doesn't find them, go somewhere else, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Versus just sitting there and shooting when an enemy appears. And ideally, they'd have some sort of coordination to like know where they'd been already and strategize how to win battles and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, now you're getting in trouble. Hmm. 4 entities are being damaged. And they're all trained things. And they all occurred there. So I guess there are more enemies there now. And I'll have to deal with them.
At your home base?
No, no. Well, you'll see it if you're looking at the stream. But basically in this area.
When you indicate things,
Yeah.
it's out of sync time wise, so it's like
Basically halfway between the oil refinery and the battle I'm currently fighting.
Hmm. Oh, in the place where there were enemies to the left of the train tracks, like I said, but you thought I was hallucinating.
Maybe. Could be that place. Could be some other place. We'll never know. So a fun thing you can do is look on this map at pollution and go, this sure is making some pollution, huh? Wow.
Oh yeah. Does that give you a feeling of accomplishment to see the pollution in the air?
No. No, it gives me a feeling of like, oh, I have to deal with that, I guess. You know. This is at least surrounded by sort of a buffer of trees that is helpful. This one, I don't know. Maybe there's a buffer of trees. Maybe this pollution here is just gonna spread over to these guys and make them destroy me.
Is there any way to combat pollution?
Just the trees, I guess. The
Plant
trees,
more trees?
and you can like make less of it to begin with through various techniques. But no, you can't plant more trees.
Degrowth.
Yeah, yeah. There's a module. I told you we can make modules now. There's a module that like makes less pollution, but there's also a module that makes it go faster. Whoa! In fact, we can look at it here. There's the speed module. Increases machine speed at cost of increased energy consumption. Heck yeah.
Huh.
Although it kind of makes you think, why not just build another machine? Efficiency module. Decreases machine energy consumption. Sort of the opposite.
So these are just some circuits you can stack. You can just plug them into any machine.
Yeah, the machines have, well, not that one, I guess. Some of the machines, like this one, has a module place. Allowed modules. Whoa, incredible. These aren't doing anything because I didn't give them enough components because I didn't need more solar panels at that time. Anyway. Yeah. Modular armor.
Put a speed module on that modular armor.
Good plan.
Then you can be safe fast.
I don't think it'll let you do that actually. Now that I think about it. Those advanced circuits fabricate very slowly, so I'm going to try a little trick here called using the game mechanics.
Or we're gonna do a speed module.
Good question. You know, theoretically, we could. Speed module, speed module, speed module. Then we could put it in there.
But you
Infinite free
need
speed
advanced
storage.
circuits for the speed module.
Well, I already have a couple advanced circuits.
It's like the AI that accelerates its own development.
Yeah. So we could have efficiency, energy consumption decrease 30%. Nice. Minimum energy consumption is 20%. I'll keep that in mind.
You could stack 3, but the last one wouldn't do as much.
I guess so.
Or is it each one does 30% of the new total? So if you stack 3, it'd be 0.7 to the 3.
Machine will create extra products at an increase cost of increased energy consumption and reduced speed, usable only on intermediate products. So like each batch will be more, but it will happen less frequently, and it seems like the productivity and the speed, just naively looking at those percentages, this productivity module would always be a bad deal. So that's weird.
What about intermediate products?
I don't know. It's maybe if you like need to balance your loads correctly, that would be a godsend. You know.
Maybe it's like you have the source product, and then you convert it into an intermediate product, and you convert it into a final product. So then you have your intermediate product converters, um, or the thing that turns the source into the intermediate product. Like you make more of them to parallelize, but and then you can make them slower and more efficient or productive. Never mind. I don't remember the mechanics well enough to justify what I'm saying. But like theoretically, if it was an intermediate step, then you could reconsolidate in the final step. So you could have all your outputs at a good speed in one place.
Hmm.
But I don't know how much having that in one place even matters. So.
Curious concept. Well, I do a lot to make things happen in one place, really. You know? Because I'm like, I don't want to run around hunting for things even more than I already am. So ideally, I would now make another boiler. Except, actually, this is creating twice as much as you need, right? So I could just make another steam engine, which I can thankfully do because it doesn't require any stone, which I don't happen to have any of. Right, so... It still wants more power than I'm giving it.
They always want more power.
Hmm. This one says output is full. 4 is a very strange... Why is output full? Output full. 3 is a very strange number of solar panels to be full. Yeah, so now that the sun is up, I guess it's fine. Alright, so...
What does satisfaction mean?
It's like the percentage. There's always a demand for electricity, and there's always a supply of electricity, and it's like the ratio between the two. And if your demand meets your supply, you're satisfied. And if your demand only half meets supply, or if your supply only half meets demand, you're half satisfied.
Mm.
Anyway, I believe I was building modular armor. Then
You did
an
say something about
energy
that at one
shield.
point.
Yeah. I just stopped to make a thing that makes the things that make modular armor. Technology.
Mhm.
Right, so I put on the modular armor. The right click to open. Okay. Equipment grid. I could make more shields. I could be a big shield guy. I could cancel all of my orders for shields because it's foolish that I'm not just using things from the machine that makes them.
Wait, what do you mean you're canceling your orders?
You'll see. Alright, well, I'm probably going to leave this alone and go wage my battles. And then come back, and it's like, I still won't have enough of anything. Wow. Yep, that's a lot of pollution right there. Yep. Well, anyway.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. I will go wage my battles now that I have this shield.
But still no rocket launcher.
Yeah. That requires more, So there were some guys. They didn't really bother me this time, though.
Did you notice how you just oh you noticed the
Ah.
guys that I noticed before?
Yeah.
You finally saw them.
Yeah. They weren't real, by the way. I'm just humoring your delusion.
Mm-hmm.
I will get on this train, and then hope there's no other train that's going to, like, clobber me. It's a little bit annoying how every train, like, spawns, and it's like, well, I just don't... Phew, I certainly need some fuel, but I don't know how one could get some. I'm like... Every time I throw out a train, I have to put the fuel in it. There's no way to go like, oh, put the fuel in the train. The entity is being damaged, even though it hasn't run out of bullets. Well, I guess that makes sense. It's just a little splash.
Being overrun.
Yeah. Maybe I move this guy up a little bit. Help him. Help the other guy get covered a little bit more. You know, the elites don't want you to know this, but you can just put 4 turrets next to each other, and it's as good as having one turret that's as good as 4 turrets. It's just a little bit bigger. So now that I've put my equipment in, I'm kind of thinking like this may have been a mistake. Like, I think I need to actually charge this equipment somehow, which I was not really paying attention to. No, I just immediately took damage, so. Consumes equipment grid electricity. How do I... Oh, I might have to make a battery to put in the equipment
personal
grid.
batteries.
Yeah. Personal battery. Made out of other batteries. Made out of sulfuric acid. So this entire digression has been wasted because I didn't make any sulfuric acid.
But it doesn't say stores. It doesn't say you put it on the equipment grid, does it? On the personal battery?
I think that was implied at some point. Placed an equipment
But the energy
grid.
shield said explicitly.
Yeah, it does. Ah, I can store joules instead of watts. Good. I'm glad we got that straight, so that I won't understand electricity in the video game, too. Not just in real life. I'm going to take my own advice here. Why place many turrets, when instead you could place just one? Turns out actually they can target a turret if it stands that close, so. Gonna have to retreat a little bit with it.
Why place 5 or 6 turrets when you can visit just one?
Yeah. And then I think I pull this guy back one so he doesn't get hit in the splash.
First I thought you were gonna do that. Why use many turret when one turret do trick?
Ah. No.
But actually one turret don't do trick.
Yeah. Yeah, it sure doesn't. It sure doesn't. Okay, and then this corner guy, I'll pull back a little. Redeploy here. And then I have no tracks, that's fine.
It's kind of cool that the defender turrets, which obviously have auto aim, don't require electricity.
Yeah, they're made out of the same magical material that the belts are made out of. I feel like this is a bug. Like there should be green squares on the other side as well. No, it's invalid somehow. Weird. Why? Maybe no train could get to it based on its current location.
Maybe the trains can only come from one direction, and it has to be facing that direction.
So another train took damage, and I think the thing that's damaging these turrets is like the creatures that are running up. And not the creatures down there. Which makes it harder to defend against.
That giant mass of dead bugs is pretty grim.
Yeah. Yeah, don't worry, they don't mind.
All in a day's work.
Oh, right. O for trains. Should come down to the Fox. Ah, well. I thought it would be cool to just grab the train like that, but no. Oh, it's actually going to come back around. Because of this impossible rail position business. Which is curious. You can tell this game was made by Europeans because there's a lot of just waiting for trains to take you to places.
If Americans had made it, there would be a fast travel button.
No, it would just be the car would be your only movement option. They'd go like, well, you can build the trains, but only to move goods. You wouldn't get on the train. That would be crazy.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah. Better build a couple of these just in case. Alright. Chemical plant. Yeehaw.
What if you
Alright.
built
Hmm?
a zipline network?
Ah, good plan. Good plan. So what do we even want? We want, I guess, batteries would be pretty cool. We can make sulfuric acid.
I feel like, well, maybe not. I don't know. It seems like a zipline network could be kind of cool for public transportation. Like everyone has their own little zipline harness that they carry with them, climb up a
Yeehaw.
ladder, clip onto the zip line, go to your preferred destination. Maybe you have to climb up a few more ladders, do a multi-leg journey.
I kind of don't
I guess if you have
understand.
two.
Oh, that's funny. The pipe is called fluid because liquid and gas are fluids. They got me there. They got me there. So I'm thinking, like, if I remove this, will it start coming out of this pipe? Like, this pipe fills up. Oh, they have the little burner thing on top. That's good. One time I took a road trip through the desert. There was a beautiful series of these burning caps in the horizon in the dark. It's just a delightful sight.
Burning cap?
Yeah, when this is working, it has fire coming out of the top. I don't know why they do it, but, you know, that happens.
Hmm.
So I thought that if this filled up, then things would start coming out of the top.
I don't
I
know
thought I
what.
had 3 outputs. Like, the petroleum gas is only coming out of the rightmost thing, but I needed to go to the middle thing, and I thought it would
Uh,
go out the middle as
Maybe
well.
each of those things is for a different output, or does it
Maybe.
only have oil, or does it only have petroleum gas output?
Hmm. Yeah, I think it can only do one, so I don't know. I don't know why
Maybe
that
it's
is.
because maybe it's not fun because the machine above it isn't taking anything in because it doesn't have power yet.
Maybe. It also doesn't have water, so... Oh, it also is
Hmm.
the wrong way around. So that's cool. Um,
Oh,
hmm. So, there's a lot in play here, is what we've learned. This, the fact that this only takes pipes is really, really harshing my vibe of just setting up all my factories in a really bespoke little way.
is it busting your biscuit?
Yep, it sure is. Where I'm like, it's fine. I'll just I'll just deal with that all later.
You should have had the sulfur production on the right and the plastic factory on the left to line
Yeah,
up the
there's
inputs.
still time to switch. There's still time to switch. I mean, right now I'm not sure if I even need any more plastic. But if I do, I can have it. Oh, now I'll do my classic move of like, this doesn't really help me at all in terms of machines, but it's way nicer to walk around, so. Oh, that's nice. When you're in alt mode, it shows you or I guess when you have the pipe up, it shows you the pipe network. It's good.
Underground pipes, nice. You'd be thinking differently about this problem if you had to dig those trenches yourself, though.
True. For instance, I'd be thinking, not gonna play Factorio. So how much water does the water thing produce? Can produce 1,200 per second. And this consumes 6 per second. So what I'm getting from this is it might be alright to just pump water out of this. On the other hand, I don't think that's actually simpler. It would just save me from building a pump. Which in the grand scheme of things is not a valuable form of simplicity. This is a dead tree, and I've been musing to myself about, do I think in Factorio a dead tree reduces pollution? Because scientifically the answer is no. But it is a video game.
What if the wood is just so porous that the pollution gets in there and then gets stuck?
Now you're talking. Now you're talking.
I mean, that's what I would do if I were a dead tree.
Good, good. If I were dead, I wouldn't do anything because I wouldn't be alive.
End of circular logic.
Yeah. And if I were a tree, I'd be circular, in a sense. Well, okay. That, not even I will go underground for very little reason, just to avoid, like, 3 squares. So there's petroleum gas in this pipe. Is there not? No. Oh, no recipe. Needs me to tell it to continue working because of, I don't know. I clicked it wrong or something at some point. Probably.
So okay. It's doing something.
Yeah, now we're making sulfur.
Oh, it made a sulfur.
Yes, and I think sulfur is an intermediate product, so it wants us... We're probably going to have to immediately turn all of our sulfur into sulfuric acid. I don't really think you can make anything else with it. Night vision is an interesting concept, at least. Ooh, a portable solar panel. That could help. I could only assault during the daytime, probably. But that would help. Oh, it's also dimensions so 1 by 1, which means I could just stack them.
Okay, let's look at the output. It's got 30 kilowatts of output. How much does an energy shield need?
20 for 240 kilowatts. Oh, and then enjoy doing energy per hit point. How many kilojoules in a kilowatt? It's probably some nice number, but how would you know which number it is?
Well, isn't joules like energy and watts is power?
Yeah, it makes sense to me. Joules is energy. I know that one for certain.
And like watts is like energy per hour or something.
Probably
No, that's not right.
something.
Because then a
Probably
kilowatt hour would
per
just be
second or something.
joules of some kind. It was like about kilowatt hours. All right, fine. I'm gonna look up what a watt is.
Ah, it's slowly charging me. Nice, 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 nice.
The
Okay,
watt is 1 joule per second.
I should just go get some steel. I should just go home and get steel. And I'll let this continue
That's it.
making sulfur, and then figure that one out later.
There's another
Yeah.
nice conversion. 1 watt is 1 joule per second.
Okay.
So to replenish 1 hit point per second, you need the same number of watts as the joules that it said for
Hmm.
the thing. But anyway, it seemed like the solar panels are probably not going to be sufficient to power 4 energy shields, right?
Well, not continuously, but the main thing is it charges up the shields. Like I only have one, and it's already charging a lot, actually. So
No, I didn't realize this had already started happening.
yeah,
I
it's
thought
the
we were
purple
still in
thing.
the land of fury. You know I can't see colors.
True. Your congenital colorblindness. Oh man.
No, it's just the screen.
Whatever makes you feel better.
My congenital and also
Screen
nocturnal
based.
color blindness.
Yeah.
Screen based, yeah.
I mean, some people have night blindness,
Is that just not being good at seeing in the dark?
basically, yeah. I guess that works out. These trains take a little bit longer to do their route than optimal, but I'm mostly just trying to optimize for not having to think about it. So, like, ideally, I would make one more of those, and it would only cost me a little bit of copper, but I don't want to think about it. I guess they attacked me on the way and I still didn't notice it. I guess it's mostly a question of whether they're near the tracks. And if they're near the tracks...
Maybe you ran over one in a tangential train.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
So do you feel shielded now?
Yes. That shield held up much longer and better than I expected.
Go.
Having that extra solar panel would probably do pretty well if it's gonna charge that fast. I'm pulling out all the stops. I have the helper robots, which I'm also going to make a ton more of. I have the grenades and the gun and the shields, and I'm still gonna die. All right, we're back.
I'm curious if the shield, um, like if having 4 shields instead of 1 is actually helping you because of your power, um, production.
Yeah, I think it would help
Like
my
I'm wondering if it makes a difference.
mass capacity, right? Like it increased my shield capacity to 200, presumably 200 hit points.
Maybe each shield's capacity is limited by the power available.
Maybe, but I think they
I don't know how
charge
this
up.
works. Okay.
So basically each shield generator is also a battery in its own right.
Okay, but then why does it say? Why does it have it in watts? How much consumption it uses if it's not continually using power? Like, what is that? What does that rate of power consumption refer to?
The amount of energy it can take
Oh,
in, probably.
max consumption. Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess if you gave it that much, it could recharge faster
Mm-hmm.
to its max speed of recharge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Very good to trade on.
Nice. Now I'm sitting around here just waiting for day to break again.
If only you had night vision goggles.
Well, no, it's just I'm thinking like, well, I want my shield to charge up. When I'm attacking, I also want my shield to be charging. Although technically
If
I
you had night vision goggles,
don't need that.
the aliens couldn't see you, and you could just sneak around in the darkness and kill them
Good
with a
plan.
knife.
Good plan. Good plan. Well, that wasn't so bad. I think I'll probably have to clear both of these nests. If I want to place the radar, like here, you know?
Everyone was talking about how this is like a programmer game, but it seems more like a, I don't know, like an adventure game.
Yeah, that's just on account of the way I play it, or I have been playing it for the past couple of sessions.
Those drones remind me of in Binding of Isaac. You have like a swarm of flies that are like helping you.
Ah, yes.
Like if you get Guppy's head or
Yes.
whatever it is. Speaking of Binding of Isaac, that was like how I first got into watching people stream on Twitch.
Ah, nice. Who did you watch?
Um, Actually, I think I all started with watching a Northern Lion on YouTube with a
Nice.
Let's Play of Binding of Isaac,
Yeah, the
and then
classic.
I think I don't know if I watched him play on Twitch, but I think started watching Binding of Isaac on Twitch after that. But like some of the main guys I watched were like Richard Hammer.
Hmm.
I don't know if you're familiar with Richard Hammer.
No, never heard of him.
He used to be known as Dick Hammer.
Ah,
He had to change
yes.
his name.
Why?
He used
That's
to
a
stream a lot of Binding
perfectly
of Isaac.
perfectly cromulent name.
Yeah. And then there was a guy called Fire on Earth, Diabetic.
Nice. He's
Um,
got the tech for how you can become diabetic, I guess.
yeah, I think he was diabetic, but he was trying to make a cool name out of it.
he
So he's,
was
like
he was
tech.
trying to make diabetes cool.
I don't know. Oh no. Oh, I thought you were gonna die. I guess you would have said something in the future.
Yeah, I would have said something like, no.
Who else? There were a bunch of guys. Cobalt Streak.
Hmm.
Just one of the more popular guys. Um, Dirty Old Cow, briefly.
Well, that guy was an old cow.
Actually,
Yet
it was a
still.
girl.
Oh, that girl. That makes sense.
Girls, after all, dirty old cows.
Girls, after all. Cows are girls.
True.
You know.
If they weren't girls, they'd be called steers or bulls.
Yeah. Wow. That's tough.
Oh, you're saying that because you died.
Yeah. I died and like I thought, wow, it's incredible that even running back to my turret nest was not enough to save me.
Oh, I just saw a bug come from the north. It looked like.
Yeah, I think that's because I was like strafing
Oh,
by the
drew them that way.
canyon that was finally enough for them to notice me and come over.
Notice me, bugmen.
Yeah. Yeah. Classic.
Manga about the Factorio main character. He wants the bug people to notice him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, you just described it. What's there to not know?
I guess I don't know why I would say such a thing in the first place.
Ah. Yeah, well, in that case, I also don't know.
Imagine my surprise going back to how I started watching Twitch thing when people who I knew to be solid, basically only Binding of Isaac streamers started playing a new game called Crypt of the Necrodancer.
Whoa. The start of a new era, you
Yeah.
know? Then they would just play any game on Twitch. It was crazy.
Yeah, like, oh, now they're variety streamers? What?
Well, I don't really like the expression variety streamer because it makes me think of a variety show. Like they should be giving an opening monologue or something.
And then having bands on and whatnot.
I don't know. That doesn't mean anything to me.
Having bands on?
Yeah, why would they not have bands on? What does that have to do with being a variety show? Oh, I see.
That's
You're
something they
saying
do on
you're saying
variety shows.
bands.
That they... What do you
Yeah,
think I said?
bands.
Oh. No, it's like they would have a band come on the show and play music as part of a variety show.
Right, totally. Totally.
Although most streamers do play music in the background, I guess,
Yeah.
for many.
And they would say, "We got a great show for you tonight, everybody." That's how they would do it.
Yeah.
That's how they would do
So what term would you propose for a streamer who streams a variety of games?
it. I don't know. I think of that as the default case, I guess. A
Back in my
video
day,
game streamer.
a streamer had a game they streamed, and their audience were people who cared about watching that game.
Wow.
I don't know if that was like the case at large, but that was just the case when with the people I started watching because I was
Mm.
like I really wanted to watch people play Binding of Isaac, and it seemed like everyone I ran into who was playing Binding of Isaac was like that was like what they did. That was the
It's
game they
what
streamed.
I do.
And then can you imagine the excitement when Binding of Isaac Rebirth came out?
Yes, I'm imagining it in my
Wow,
mind right now.
all
It's
these
so
streamers
exciting.
who had moved on to other games were like, we got to go back and play Binding of Isaac now again.
Yeah. Did that happen like last year? This year, maybe? Something like that?
This happened like 2015.
Oh, okay. Right. Because I think that also basically happened recently
Hmm.
again.
Did they do another DLC extension or something?
Yeah. I mean, they just keep going back. I don't know. I guess either the guy who made Isaac is like, I can just keep going back and making more Isaac. It's such a great game. I love it. Or he's like, well, I'd like to make some more money now. What if I made you some more Isaac? How's that deal sound? One
I
of
bet
those
it's the second one.
two facts about the universe must be. I don't know, man. Like the fact
It's
that
probably
he's
both.
made
I don't
so
know.
much Isaac, the fact that he made so much Isaac to begin with, makes me think that like maybe he's in it to win it. Maybe he's Isaac pilled.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe he's
Did I
pilled
tell
by
you
his own game.
that I ran into him walking down the street one day?
Oh no,
Yep.
didn't know. Did he
I
tell
was
you?
walking
Did
down the
he
street and I was like,
confide in you
"That's
that
Edmund Millon."
he hates making Binding of Isaac and he wishes you guys would stop buying it in a perverse way?
No, he didn't say anything to me. I just as I was passing him, I was like, "I just wanted to say thank you for making cool games," and then I walked away.
Nice.
I was big into his games at that point.
Right.
Super Meat Boy, Binding of Isaac, whatever
Yeah.
that weird game that I can't remember was, where you like fly around space.
Hmm.
The the one with where the character has like a cancerous growth with a face. Um,
Ah. Actually,
there are a bunch of them.
that could be almost any of his games.
No, like the main character is like he's like a blob. It's actually it appears as a boss in Binding of Isaac. It's
Hmm.
Steve, or is it Steve? It's the one where there's like the guy who's like a black with green outline character, and he
Hmm.
has a little like lump with a face on his shoulder.
I don't know. I know one that's like that, but it's like a platformer. And honestly, I don't even know if it's actually like that. It just sort of vaguely fits the
No,
description.
the game that that boss was drawn from is a platformer, I believe.
Hmm.
I honestly don't remember much about it. It might be the one that has the swear in the title.
Yeah. There's one that's called. It's officially called on the webpage. I believe Time for Cuck.
Yeah,
And I played that, and I
yeah, that's what
thought,
I'm thinking of.
well, that's a mildly good platformer. And then it was like incredibly long because people liked it, so he made a lot of it, I think. And I was like, oh, well, never mind. I only like this video
Canonically, it's
game.
supposed to be pronounced. Canonically, it's supposed to be pronounced like this swear.
Wow.
I read it one time. Agree with that.
Yes, it's also. I
It's
think
funny,
that's
right?
like the title of the game in the game, so that doesn't surprise me. It's just the web page isn't allowed to have a swear on it.
I see. I'm on the TV trips page for this game, and it has a lot of alternate misspellings for the title.
My God.
Released on Newgrounds 2009. Wow. Yeah, I got like the Edmund McMillan games bundle of like some of his smaller games.
Mm,
Because I was such a fanboy.
nice. Yeah, I've occasionally played some of his games. So, you know, they're all they all have something to them. Some of them I'm like, well, you gave it a shot. You came up with a little something here that probably delighted many people at the time.
Yeah.
Not gonna play it though. Not gonna play it any more than 5 minutes. Bye. I have to get back to playing Factorio so I can build my portable solar panel. Well, they're probably fine. They're probably fine down there. Down there, they're probably fine. However, I need to go to a different place with this train. I really have set up this train so that it takes a lot of circuitous routes. And maybe I should be building a little structure all over so that I don't have to do that. Ooh, one entity is destroyed. I might be losing that battle, honestly. That might happen.
Win some, lose some, as they
True.
say.
Yep. Alright, what else? What else do we want? We can have a shield. We can have night vision. We can build the belt immunity equipment. Why not? Just as we're
Belt
waiting.
immunity?
Yeah, that means basically if you do this, you won't move. Whoa!
Whoa. Wait, like if you step on a belt, you won't.
Yeah.
Huh, interesting. Huh. Is that valuable
Um,
to not move if you're on a belt?
it certainly can be inconvenient to move. That train could have killed me easily. Okay.
You can get killed by trains and everything.
Yep.
Nice.
Done it many a time.
It's just weird to me, like hearing which things they made realistic and which things they didn't.
Yeah. That's fair.
It's like, okay, so the train, if it runs into you or another train, it will do damage, but you can put it in your pocket. But you can't have fuel still in it if it's in your pocket. You have to put that somewhere else.
Yeah. This might surprise you, but this is a video game. A lot of things will start making sense when you think about it like that.
No, I mean, it's just like, okay, so admittedly, the example of the inventory thing is like, okay, to be expected in the video game. But I feel like there are other things about this game which are unrealistic in less obvious ways,
That's
or
very
ways
true.
that would be the less obvious choice.
I'm always, as I'm playing it, like I'm thinking like, ooh, does dead tree reduce pollution?
Yeah, exactly. You don't know. We don't
Don't
know where the
know.
line is.
Can't confidently say. Couldn't rightly say, as they say. All right, well, looks like all of my turrets over there have been destroyed.
And the place is swarming with
Yeah.
bugs. Do you think they're gonna like build new nests of squishy things? Is that a thing that can happen?
I've never seen it happen.
Yes. See another unrealism.
Hmm.
Robert Lasagna rated a movie that I saw recently Kino out of 10.
Nice.
I feel validated for also thinking it was Kino,
Nice.
although it was pretty obvious.
Hmm. Okay.
But really, I should feel ashamed of caring too much what Robert Lasagna thinks.
Maybe you should, maybe you shouldn't. Let's ask Robert Lasagna if you should.
Hmm.
What movie was it?
It's called Look Back.
Ah.
It's an anime movie based on the manga by Tatsuki Fujimoto, creator of
Ah.
Chainsaw Man.
Ah.
It's a very charming movie. I found several parts very funny to watch.
Nice.
And then some parts were touching, but I did not cry. But I was like,
Is it recent,
hmm.
this release?
Yeah, pretty recent. I saw it in theaters a couple weeks ago. I saw it in only one theater actually, but
Hmm. I was thinking about getting into uh real movies in real theaters sometime soon. It's just something I haven't gotten around to in quite a while.
your about section is very funny to me.
Oh, thank you. I wrote it to be funny as well. It,
I like it
like
because I get the
all.
joke, but also it doesn't do the joke quite right.
Well, I ran out of words, you know?
I know. It makes a sort of sense.
Yeah. You should read it aloud for posterity when, the internet is deleted and this recording is all alone.
Oh, true. Okay. Just to set the scene, in case this information was lost, the username of the host of the stream is flashied_man. And then in the about section, it says, "You're telling me a flashy this man?"
Nice. What a great joke.
And for those who might not be familiar, it's sort of like the shrimp fried rice meme, where it's like, "You're telling me I shrimp fried this rice?" But since flashied is the past tense verb, it's like, you either have to say, "You're telling me," and then omit the subject and then say, "Flashied this man," or you could do the more creative and unusual thing and say that flashy is actually subject and the verb has no letters in it, and the subject and the ending of the verb were combined in the username.
Very wise. Maybe.
Also, it's funny because it's saying a flashy even though flashy is the name.
Yeah. There's something a little bit weird about how the game prioritizes what to build. And I'm not really sure if it's intentional difficulty or if it's just how they built the system, and it's actually bad. Because, like, if I said, build me all of these little guys that you can, it would say, and there was a component part, it would say, yeah, don't worry, I'm going to build all the component parts first, and then I'm going to build all the little guys. And it's like, no, actually, I kind of want the little guys. Like now.
You can't just be like, hey, build me some little guys, and also here's the things to do component parts in the meantime.
No, it also, like, you can't rearrange the queue of what's building. You can cancel what's building, but
Okay, I'm realizing I don't understand the situation because I thought different machines are building different things, so why is there a priority queue?
oh, just when you're personally building something.
Uh, got it.
In your hot little hands, as we say.
I can't. It doesn't. It simultaneously doesn't seem like something I've ever heard anyone say, but it also feels like a familiar thing that people have said.
I have that effect on people.
Just the fact that you said whatever you said, like as some might say, or whatever you said, like hypnotized me into believing that it's a thing people say.
The gaslighting proceeds apace.
Yeah.
It's nice how
Which, okay.
fast this recharges, this shield thing. Like, it's already charging back up.
Could be almost
Beautiful.
dead.
Like, look, it's building 4 gears. And then it's building 84 guys. And it's like, couldn't you have built the guys who didn't require the gears first? It's like, no. You don't know how we do things around here. It's simply not done.
Like when the manager asks the programmer to do a simple task, and the programmer's like, listen, it's actually impossible.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
actually an unsolved computer science problem.
Yeah.
And the manager's like, I can't tell if you're being super incredibly wrong or just a little bit wrong.
But you're definitely wrong.
Yeah. Well, actually, some managers would probably be like, oh, okay.
Yeah. My
Like, they call you wrong
managers
too.
are like the reverse. They're like, is it like possible in the realms of computer science to change the color of this button? And I'm like, yeah. Actually. Although there have been times when the answer is like, technically the answer is yes, but it would be so much trouble that we shouldn't do it. You know, like this button is actually controlled by the whatever, so we'd have to completely replace the other thing in order to.
It's actually an
replace it.
iframe being served by the government.
Yeah, it's actually
And I don't
written
want
into
to custom
the
CSS.
Constitution that we have to. This button has to be this color, or like, you know, we lose all of our American freedoms, and that's just not a
And go to jail.
sacrifice I'm willing to make.
Yeah, I don't want to go to jail for changing the color of this button.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm not a lawyer, but trust me. It is very frustrating how many times web development, a seemingly simple thing, is actually pretty hard.
Yeah, that does sound annoying.
There's gotta be a better way.
There has to be a better way. (1920s) guy, Obama, saying, "Let me be clear. There has to be a better way."
Everyone's like, okay,
All right.
I guess there has to be.
Fair enough. Suppose there might be. Maybe it's even, impossible that there isn't.
Most people, when they say there has to be a better way, trying to inspire people to imagine a better world. 1920s guy Obama, when he says there has to be a better way, he's just trying to convince people that that there is another way, and there has to be actually
That's
a
true.
better way.
He's doing actually like a computer science proof.
Yeah,
He's like,
or
it must be possible
he's
to
getting
do this
ready
in
to
O
do
of N. And you're like, interesting, Obama. Thank you, 1920s Obama.
computer scientist.
Yeah, my thesis advisor is 1920s Obama. Oh, is that like regular Obama? No, not really.
Actually, quite different.
Yeah, there's a lot
They
of
don't get along.
subtlety at play in 1920s Obama that not everyone gets, but
It's called medium worm.
medium warm.
That's the meat.
Oh,
No,
I
the
see.
worm that was sticking up out of the ground. It was labeled medium worm.
Yep.
And I'll just say if that's medium, I'd hate to see a large.
Yeah. Well, keep watching and you will someday.
Do they have a Shakalut in this game?
Yeah, probably. Sure, why not? They got him. They got the celebrity cameo of that guy.
Do they have uh Shai LaBeouf?
Yep, they have him too. They have him too.
Do they have Spice?
They have both baby and regular Spice of the Spice Girls.
Oh, I was like, I don't know what those mean. It's like, what is baby spice? What is regular spice?
Maybe it's like baby powder. You ever think of that?
Hmm. That's a nicer answer than what occurred to me.
Ah, I see.
It was more in a Jonathan Swift vein.
Yeah.
What about Old Spice and Ice Spice?
What about Old Spice and then Young Spice? The opposite of that is Baby Spice.
Ooh.
Really, makes you think. I'm
So
not
it's
even.
deodorant for babies.
Yeah. I'm not even sure why they like being called Old Spice, because, like, that's the one thing I wouldn't want my spice to be, frankly.
Well, no, it's like mature. Like it makes you a mature adult if you're wearing Old Spice. Like
Hmm.
cultured.
Yeah,
Like
that doesn't
cultured
make
isn't
much
it has
sense to
culture,
me.
not cultured isn't like fermented. It's like, oh, Old Spice, you're using like an old tried and true. I don't know, man. It makes sense in my head, but I can't articulate it.
Grown-ups are old QED.
Maybe it's like Lindy. It's like they're branding themselves as Lindy.
Yeah, yeah. This is some really trad spice you have going on here.
Yeah, Trad Spice. They should rebrand as Trad Spice.
That was my favorite Spice Girl. Yeah.
How many Spice Girls were there anyway? And why were they called Spice Girls? That's something that's always confused me.
I don't know. I guess spice is a positive quality, unlike old. So that makes sense to me. And then they were girls. This part is indisputable. So QED, I guess.
Scary Spice, Sporty Spice, Baby Spice, Ginger Spice, Posh Spice.
Honestly, I didn't find Scary Spice very scary, so
But I
I
don't
think
even
that
see
one
Young
was.
Spice. Oh wait, no, Young Spice was nothing. That was you justifying Baby Spice. What
Yeah,
was it? Regular? Did you say regular Spice?
yeah. That's how we got on this tangent.
Also not listed here in the Wikipedia article for Spice Girl.
Yeah. That's because that was a joke Spice Girl I came up with.
Oh man, but I can't tell where fiction ends and reality begins.
You've fallen into my chasm of japes.
And gaslight.
Yes. You've been gaslit and gatekept by the girl boss. Sorry to say.
Spice Girl boss.
True.
She who controls the spice is a girl
is
boss.
is the boss of the world. Yes. So I'm thinking about these guys. I'm thinking I can just approach on foot. Ideally, I would like one piece of supporting fire, but I don't necessarily need it.
Hmm. So Spice Girls came to be because Bob Herbert and Chris Herbert, the father and son duo, decided to create a girl group to compete with the boy bands who dominated UK pop music at the
What about Frank Herbert?
not mentioned, but I think we have to assume some involvement.
That makes sense to me.
I can't believe I didn't even notice that when I was reading the news, but that's like a shocking connection between Herbert and Spice.
Yeah, the Herbert must
There's something
flow.
about it. Also, if you think about the fact that herb is in the name
Yeah,
Herbert and herbs are like similar to spices,
yeah.
it's pretty crazy.
There's a lot going on there.
We're just scratching the surface.
Yep.
I want to find out how deep this thing goes, but I'm scared of what I might find.
Cease your investigations.
Nevertheless, I press on
Ah,
in reading the Wikipedia article that everyone has read, or everyone had access to. They envisioned an act comprising 5 strikingly different girls who would each appeal to a different audience.
this is what people were doing back in the day. They were like, "We're gonna engineer a boy band and or girl band, and we're gonna include several different types of people."
Except for it's still working great in Korea, apparently. This is the current
Yeah,
meta.
they never forgot how to do it over there. They just figured out, like, what if we just had 13 types of guy? What if we had every type of guy under the sun? Unlike the Americans, who only want to get mad at types of guy. What if we had types of guy to, dare I say, celebrate them?
Apparently, originally the band was going to be called Touch.
That's a pretty good name for a band.
Yeah.
Was it taken? Is that why they didn't do it?
I haven't found out yet. Oh, whoa. One of the original Spice Girls was fired before they even
Wow. That
managed to
was
do anything.
that was Normal Spice. She was too normal to be in a girl band.
Yeah, for real. Um,
Am I
Michelle
invincible
Stevenson.
somehow? Okay, I'm not invincible. Good to know.
After a few months into the training, Stevenson was fired for a perceived lack of commitment.
Wow, she really was the
Too
normal
normal.
normal Spice.
Yeah.
She was like, "Yeah, I mean, it's nice being a Spice Girl, but like, I have other things I need to do, so you know.
She was like, "It's nice being in touch."
True. Why don't they try
But
getting in touch with being a Spice Girl? You know.
or in touch with their audience,
Yeah.
because apparently, according to Stevenson, the songs that they first started rehearsing with were aimed at a very young audience, and none were later used by the Spice Girl.
Wow. I guess
So
that makes sense to me. If you listen to Spice Girl songs, you're like, I hope this is not targeted towards a very young audience. But if you think about boy bands,
yeah,
they are targeted towards a much younger audience.
yeah. Great. So I guess Emma Bunton was her replacement, aka Baby Spice. It makes sense that the last one to join would be the baby.
My God. I never thought about it that way.
The group performed small showcases as their training continued. In one performance, they added a rap section they had written to one of Thurkel and Gill's songs. Thurkel and Gills being the songwriters.
Mm.
Gills was furious with the changes and insisted they learn to write songs properly.
He wasn't even like, I insist you only let me write the songs. He was like, I insist you improve your songwriting.
Yeah. The group began professional songwriting lessons.
Wow. I didn't even know those were a thing. I mean, you know, like for real. I can imagine somebody offering those. Then you're like, yeah, but are they real? And they would go, I don't know.
Yeah,
I write songs and I can tell you about how I think when I do that. Is that enough for you?
I have a master class.
Mm.
What's for a master class? It's quote real unquote.
Yes. Oh, I can buy gears at the gear store.
How is there a
Uh,
gear store? Isn't it just you on this planet?
yes. That was my fanciful way of saying I can just go over to gather gears from a thing. I
I see.
forget you're reading a Wikipedia page now. You aren't even looking at the thing, which is fine, is what I'm saying.
Well, actually, when you said you were going to buy gears from the gear store, I clicked over to the tab in
Oh.
time to see the delayed stream of you clicking on gears, and I was like, that doesn't look like he's buying gears. It looks like he's just getting gears.
Hey, this guy lied to me. All right. I also
So I
want
probably should have just been like, he was being good.
more train tracks because I keep having to drive my train around. And I'm like, I wish I had train tracks. And I guess while I'm here, I should pick up some steel. The easiest way for me to get steel is going to be...
Steal it.
Ha! How dare you, sir? How dare you?
How dare I make a bad joke, or how dare I suggest that you might do such a thing?
How dare you insult the fine steel factory I'm working on by implying that theft would be a better way to acquire steel than these brave workers, the steel furnaces.
I was saying you could steal it from the factory,
How dare you, sir?
just like you bought the gears from the other place. Anyway, while they were taking professional songwriting lessons, they wrote a song called Sugar and Spice, which inspired them to change their name to Spice.
I guess they must have thought that song was gonna like go really hard. You know?
Or maybe they were like, this song, even if it doesn't go really hard, is so us that we need our name to reflect how much this song reflects us.
Yeah, but I kind of like don't understand how the word spice could do that.
They were like,
I
oh my
get
gosh,
maybe they
this
were
is
sitting
literally
around
me.
one day and they were like, wait a minute, variety is the spice of life. We are scientifically engineered to be a variety of Spice Girls
Our genomes were specifically selected based on their diversity.
based on their spiciness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if spice is the variety of music, yes, it makes sense. Uh, by late 1994, the group felt insecure, as they still did not have an official contract with art management, or were frustrated with the management team's direction.
They didn't have a contract? What? Huh?
They still did not have an official contract.
What were they doing? What were they
They were
doing all this time?
training and doing small performances and learning how to do songwriting.
Hmm.
You know, you audition for a thing, they're like, hey, let's do some training, let's do some tests, let's do some practicing, let's write some songs. And you're like, yeah, cool, let's go. This is sick. And then 6 months later, you're like, wait, maybe I could get some money.
True.
But they persuaded Herbert, and it's not specified whether it's the father or the son they're talking about, or Frank, to set up a showcase performance in front of industry writers, producers, and A&R men, which I don't know what that means, where they received an overwhelmingly positive reaction. At which point the Herberts were like, oh, I guess we should give you a contract.
Hmm. Well, that's good, I guess.
And then they began
Hmm.
songwriting sessions with Richard Stannard, who
Uh,
is apparently a
good
guy
old
who writes.
Richard Stannard.
Uh, he's worked with people like Kylie Minogue.
Minogue?
Minogue, yes.
Nice.
Kylie Minogue.
Kylie
One
Minogue.
Direction. Atomic Kitten. Ellie Goulding.
That is a highly powerful kitten. That kitten might be too
Leo
powerful
Numbers. Yeah.
when you get
I'm
right down
curious
to it.
what kind of a band Atomic Kitten.
Jazz. Easy listening.
It's an English girl group, similar to Spice Girls,
Oh,
in that it's an English girl group.
well, that makes sense.
Actually, I don't know. Was Spice Girls English?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Uh,
Seems like such
look
an
at the
American
screen.
concept.
The trains are colliding.
Oh no! No, they collided.
They
That seems
collode.
dangerous.
They are dangerous. Hmm.
They collude.
Yes.
There was collusion.
Yes. Ah, God damn it. This is the one thing we didn't want to happen.
That's the one thing I didn't want to happen. How does that one go? How does that name go?
It
The
goes the
GIF
way I
with
just
the.
said it. This
I
is
thought
the
there was
one
more.
thing we didn't want to happen.
Is it we? Huh. Thought it was slightly different than that. Maybe it's just because I'm bad at reading it because the words are too small and fast.
I'm thinking I could use a snack. I might go get the snack.
Hmm. Considering that it's way past my bedtime, I think I should use this as my cue to go to bed.
Yeah, you should. Good night.
Good night.
Ah, it's so spooky that he left. Whoa, ooh, spooky, spooky. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I was gonna place another one. So I don't like manually driving the trains, so having this little outlet should help me. But it probably won't help me that much, honestly. Anyway, these are the guys I need to fight. They're down here. So these are, I'm setting these up a little closer than I think I'll have to, because the bugs are powerful enough that once they rush me, I'll need a bunch anyway, working in sync. Which obviously will be more powerful when I set up more of them at once, but it's still pretty useful. Like that. The fact that it takes them a non-zero amount of time to turn is really filling me with thoughts about, like, oh, that probably makes the difference between winning and losing in certain cases. Taking no damage, taking some damage. Huh. I ran out of that ammunition quickly, I guess. Just accepting I don't need all of these turrets so I can get to the helper bots earlier. Who I think will actually help. I mean, I guess. Like, I can kind of stand here forever with my recharging armor. And I don't need their help. Do they do as much damage as I do? No. No, they do not. So I can get closer here because the artillery is actually farther away than I thought. wonder if my health could start recharging just through the shield covering me. I think that's pretty unlikely because I think when you actually take any combat action at all, your health recharging stops, presumably for that same reason. They don't want you winning too easily now. Okay, that's a little too close then. Trying to get basically as close as possible, except in a way that won't trigger the artillery. Which is probably about here. Okay. So that's alright. But this is the real gamer move. Oh, interesting. Are there reinforcements from the south? That's curious. I should probably just go in. Yeah. It's a big problem area to the south there. Now, on the other hand, I can just kind of leave it alone and not worry about it until things get into this area, or this area, which they're not really at risk of doing. And when the sun comes up, I will be able to figure out how far away from this thing I need to go to put one here, which is all I really wanted to do. I'll be back. So I might go to bed soon, but also, importantly, I might not. I'm not doing it because this is recording and there are copyright concerns. But recently I've been listening to the Mountain Goats album, Bleed Out, which is not like a transcendent album or anything, but it is a good album, and it is playing in my mind, and it is apropos to the tasks I'm performing in this game. Rather, you know, all the fighting and stuff. I'm just trying to make sure my inventory doesn't overflow, because that's annoying to deal with. Alright, very good. Very good. Alright, well, I guess that's kind of inevitable. So, we will leave that to its devices. We will take these guys. And maybe do it again. Maybe we just do it again. I don't know, I'm kind of bored of that. Maybe I'd like to actually make blue science, for example. Maybe I'd just like to go to sleep.